Hello everyone. Here we start with part 5 of number system, and today we will read about properties of rational numbers and irrational number. The very first property is sum of two rational numbers is also rational. Now let's take example. If I'm taking the first example, taking the numbers as 4 by 7 and 2 by 4, so it will LCM will come 28. This will be 16 plus 14, that is equals to 30 by 28, which is equals to 15 divided by 14. It is a rational number. Now if I take the numbers as 0 and 1 by 7, so 0 plus 1 by 7 will also be equals to 1 by 7, which is a rational number. Coming to the next property. The next property goes as the product of two rational numbers. The product of two rational numbers is rational. Again coming to the example, 4 by 7 into 2 by 4. So here 4 and 4 will get cancelled. You will be left with 2 by 7, which is a rational number. Coming to the next example, 0 into 1 by 7, that is also equals to 0. So 0 can be written in the form 0 by 1. So this is also a rational number, which is a rational number. Coming to the third property, which is related to irrational number. The sum of two irrational numbers is not always irrational. If I take the example, if I take the irrational numbers as root 7 and 2 root 7, the answer will come as 3 root 7, which is a irrational number. Coming to the second example, if I'm taking the numbers as 2 plus 2 root 5 and minus 2 root 5. So 2 plus 2 root 5 is obviously an irrational number. Why? Because root 5 is irrational. If any whole number, if you are adding it to a rational number, or rather 2 is a rational number over here. So if you are adding any rational number to any irrational number, in such cases, the answer will also be coming in irrational form. So therefore, this number is an irrational number and this is also an irrational number. Here we are summing up both the irrational numbers. So therefore what we will get, 2 root 5 is irrational. So minus of 2 root 5 will also be irrational number. We will be coming to this property after one property. So therefore what we will get the answer over here, this will be equals to 2 and which is a rational number. So what we are finding, that when we take any two irrational numbers, then in few cases it will come irrational, while in few cases it can come rational number as well. All the time it will come irrational, that will not be the case. Coming to the fourth property of this part, and that is sum of rational number and irrational number is irrational number. Like for example, if I'm taking the example as 2 plus root 2, as we have seen over here, root 2 is 1.412 dot dot dot. We know that root 2 is equal to 1.412 dot dot dot. If you are adding 2 plus root 2, so 2 plus 1.412 dot dot dot, how much will you get? 1.412 dot dot dot, and you are writing over here 2.0 suppose. So it will be 3.412 dot dot dot. It's coming 3.412 dot dot dot, which is also an irrational number. So 2 plus root 2 is an irrational number. So whenever you are adding up a rational number to an irrational number, the answer which it will come is also an irrational number. Coming to the fifth property, of this section, product of two. Here we have done sum of rational and irrational. Before that we have done sum of two irrational numbers. Now we will be moving to product. Product of two irrational numbers is not always irrational. As for example, if I am taking the example as root 2 and root 3, we know that root 2 is an irrational number, also root 3 is an irrational number. If you calculate the product of it, it will come root 6, and which is an irrational number. Root 6 is irrational. If I take another example as root 2 and 2 root 2. Now root 2 is an irrational number and 2 root 2 will also be an irrational number. But what about the product of these two? Root 2 into root 2 equals to 2 and 2 into 2 will be equals to 4, which is a rational number. So what is that we can find out from here? That whenever you are calculating the product of two irrational numbers, the answer which it will come is not necessary that it will be irrational in all the cases. They can be rational as well. Coming to the sixth property, and that is the sixth property of the properties section is the negative of an irrational number is an irrational number. Like for example, if I am taking root 2 is an irrational number, therefore negative, that is minus root 2, is also an irrational number. Whenever we consider an irrational number, negative of that number will also be an irrational number. So here we come to the end of this session. If you have any doubts regarding this session, feel free to write in the comment section, and if you have any queries, do write them also. Thank you.